Anyways, I wanted to talk real quick about fuel planning when you're a lease operator or owner-op. Give you clear up a little misconception that a lot of drivers will, or as I call it, bad advice. They give you bad business advice that a lot of truckers will give you when it comes to how much fuel you should plan on getting for a load. Now, most of them will give you what I call the short-term plan, and I don't know a good business plan that only thinks short-term. A good business plan always thinks long-term. Alright, so here's an example. This load I'm under right now, I'm on my way to Los Lunas, New Mexico, and I'm coming up on Moriarty, and I'm just a hair below a quarter of a tank. I probably have enough fuel to make it to Los Lunas, and maybe possibly to come back up to Albuquerque. Then I'd have to get fuel in Albuquerque, more than likely. Okay, Flying J, the fuel there is $2.45 a gallon right now. The national average price at the moment is $2.38. So, at face value, I'm going to be paying above average fuel prices at that Flying J. Alright, well, if you factor in the 15 cent per gallon rebate that I get, it'd be $2.30 a gallon. Not bad, but as a just in case, I can always get fuel over here in Moriarty at Lease's truck stop for $2.09 a gallon. And so why would I pay $2.30 a gallon for fuel when I can get it for $2.09 a gallon? Or I can even just get enough at Lease's to get me down to Los Lunas, back over to Santa Rosa on my dead route, and then getting $1.99 a gallon fuel in Santa Rosa before heading out to getting to Amarillo tomorrow to pick up my reload. So the common advice that is given if you're a lease operator or owner-op where you buy your own fuel is never buy more fuel than you need for the load you're already on. And I'm going to say that's bad advice because that's only thinking short term. Now, yeah, it will help you on your next paycheck or your next settlement because sometimes. Let's take my settlements for example. I can't speak for everybody's because they have different pay periods, but my settlement cutoff date is Thursday night at midnight. Alright, so tonight is Sunday night, and I deliver tonight at midnight, and I reload tomorrow. The load's already ready for pickup now. I just got to do a 10-hour break and then go grab it tomorrow and then start moving it toward its receiver. Okay, now, if this load was delivered on a Thursday, the typical logic would be don't only buy enough fuel to get me to Los Lunas and that's it. And then plan on buying more fuel as soon as I'm done. That way, because what I end up doing, I might save myself perhaps $150 worth of fuel purchase for this particular load that I don't really need. But here's the problem. If I buy $2.45 a gallon fuel, or I'll just say $2.30, when I can buy $1.99 a gallon fuel, or just say $2 a gallon fuel, that's 30 cents a gallon difference. When I'm buying 100 gallons of fuel, that's a $30 difference that I'm costing myself when I have to buy $2.45 or $2.30 a gallon fuel, but I could be buying it for $2.09 or $2.10 is basically here at Lease's, or $2 over in Santa Rosa. So yeah, it'll as you see, I might save myself getting off here in Moriarty to stop at Lease's. Like I said, I can probably get back over here, but I'm going to probably need to stop here at Lease's regardless. And this particular load, it's not going to be the last delivery I make this settlement period either. So even if I am thinking short term as far as just my next paycheck, I'm going to be getting this gas regardless, or this fuel regardless. on this same settlement. So I'm going to cost myself whatever fuel I'm going to buy right now, regardless of whether I do it tonight or whether I do it tomorrow on my way to Amarillo. So just to be sure I don't put myself in a position where I have to stop in Albuquerque and buy more expensive fuel, I'm going to go ahead and stop right now and get enough at least to get me from here to Los Lunas and back to Santa Rosa, where I can get that $2 a gallon fuel, and then I'll max out my tanks in Santa Rosa. Thinking on now short term, if all you're thinking about is your next paycheck and you're not thinking about how you're impacting the following paycheck after that, then you don't have a good business plan. Because, like I say, I could cost myself that extra $30. So let's just say I saved myself $150 this settlement. I could save myself $150 this settlement by not buying fuel. We'll just say it as a round number. But I might cost myself $180, or when I could have only cost myself $150 the next settlement, if that makes any sense. So in other words, I would have to pay an extra $30 more than I should have already been expecting to pay on the next settlement, because I put myself in a position where I'm forced to buy more expensive fuel. Alright, so keep that in mind. Alright, I'm at Lease's truck stop here in Moriarty at exit 197 on I-40. Get my fuel. Like I said, I could top my tanks off here, and it doesn't matter because I'm going to get this fuel before my next delivery is done anyway. So, think long term, all right? Think not just this next paycheck coming up, but what are you going to do for your next settlement? The one after the one coming up. Because you could save yourself this week and then cost yourself the next week. Now cost yourself even more next week. In contrast, you can cost yourself more this week in exchange for saving yourself even more than what you cost yourself the following week. So, in other words, you can cost yourself $150 extra this week in exchange for saving yourself $180, $200 on the next settlement. So, I'll just say you have a couple of, just for round numbers. I'm not saying this is an actual settlement, but $1,000 settlement. Okay, you might save yourself and get like an $1,150 settlement instead of $1,000 that you would have budgeted for or planned on getting, but then ended up getting let's just say an $800 settlement the following following period, instead of where you could have paid gotten an $850 settlement this week in exchange for $1,200 the following week. The numbers over the 2 weeks add up to more in your pocket when you cost yourself more in the short term in exchange for saving yourself more in the long run. So that's what I'm getting at here, right? So don't think so short term like what everybody says. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get my fuel here, and that's all I have for this one. And I'll have some more. I'll probably do some footage here of showing up at the Walmart there in Los Lunas. All right, thanks.